Yeah.
I'll check YouTube. Okay, I've opened the
We're
art
live.
station and mm, 1 minute to go live.
That's great, man. No worries.
Okay, we are
You can
live. We
go.
are live. We are live now. We are live right now.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a name there. Santiago is a friend of mine. What's up, man?
Okay, on the live.
Yeah, he's there. I see. He put something in the chat there.
Okay. Mm. All right. So thank you very much, and I want to officially welcome you to my live section. So good to have you. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to my people here. It means a lot to my friends, fans, and my
Mhm.
students. Those that I've been looking forward to. So going to introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are, your career,
Mhm.
and everything. So more questions will be coming. Over
Sure,
to you.
sure. Yeah, I can introduce myself by saying that I'm basically a 3D artist. I've been doing 3D art for like 11 years now, 10, 11 years. So I start around like in 2000. Well, I would say a little more because actually the first time I touched 3D was like in 2011 ish, like around there.
Okay.
So I basically started learning 3D by following tutorials in YouTube, doing different stuff, uh, here and there, like trying different things. But honestly, the first when I started doing before actually doing 3D, what I want to be was like more like a filmmaking instead of doing 3D. That was something that happened afterwards. So one of the things I did was try. I bought like a little camera, like very cheap camera, and then I start recording stuff and adding 3D basically in the footage. Um, so that's basically the way I started, and then from there I start basically doing more like 3D where I model stuff in I think at the time I used Maya. That was the first thing I
Yeah.
used. So yeah, but everything was using tutorials. Basically, I didn't have like any knowledge. Like it was very basic, basically in a sense. So yeah,
I
so
understand.
was try and error in a sense, right? So that was
Yeah.
2011. Then 2012, I decided to go for a school here in Uruguay. We have a like very small school where they teach 3D and animation and everything, and all different stuff. So there I learned like more like the professional way of doing stuff, like more pipeline, learning like all the things that you have to understand in order to make something in 3D in a sense, like uh, modeling, texturing, animation, all different sort of things. And from there, that was in around 2014, I started using, well, I started working in and at the same time I started using ZBrush, right? That was like
Mhm.
my kind of my break point where I start kind of doing more characters things, like more creatures and different things. And so from there, I did like a bunch of different stuff, working here and there in like different studios, doing more generalist like 3D in different areas. Then
Okay.
time happens, time flow, and then I did like more like I did like something more characterly, and then I had the chance to work in a studio for like a game studio at the moment where I did basically a character in a sense, like from the beginning to the end, like from doing the high poly in ZBrush, which is the software I usually use like most of the time, and um and then from there, like doing all the process from doing the low poly, the texturing, and then exporting to Unreal at the moment. Um, so yeah, that was basically like probably 2017 ish, and then I have the opportunity to work in a studio, which his name is Mars BFX. They do like mostly different sort of things, but they work with really high end clients like Marvel, Disney, all this kind of thing. So we're basically work for like
Yeah.
like 1 year and a half. So yeah, I have like the option. I have the opportunity to work in different projects that was really cool actually. I have the chance to work on it. Yeah,
I recently saw one of your movie. Permit me to share the poster.
yeah,
I'm coming. Share. I want to share your profile
sure.
with the audience. I saw this. This is not this.
Yeah, just press accept. I think just read or
Yeah,
accept, whatever.
done that.
Doesn't let you. That's weird. Well, you can check if you can't, you can use the link to my website
The rest.
maybe. Let me send
Yeah,
you the
to the
link here.
website.
So I think you have it, right?
Yeah, I
Put it
have
here
it.
in the
And
chat.
I just,
There you go.
yeah, I'm coming. All right. So I saw this. This was a recent movie. I saw the trailer. I want
Yeah.
to know the creator. Can you? I want to know your. I saw your name and I was really amazed. That was
Mhm.
really called my attention to it. I want to know your role on the movie. Can you just share with us?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I can say. Well, basically, what I did on that movie, I was in charge of doing surfacing. Basically, which surfacing is basically where you have the model, right? You have the character. So what we do is you create the textures, right? And then you create
Okay.
details. For example, let's say you have, I don't know, like a metal, right? A helmet, for example. And so the helmet is gonna be just a helmet per se, like just the model. But when you work in surfacing, is basically you add all the details you need. For example, scratches. You work with the shaders where you make the metal looks like metal basically, and you play with different kind of sort of like layers, in the shade as well. So it's more like you have the model, but then you add life to it. Like it's more lifelike in the sense, right? You have more realism to it. So in the sense. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't disclose which character did or anything because NDA and stuff. But I can say definitely what was my role there.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah,
okay. I understand. I understand.
yeah,
I still saw some of your reels
hmm
stars. Okay.
yeah. For the other one that you may actually mention as well is the Ant Man. For that
Yeah,
one,
this Alma.
yeah,
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
So we work like in a specific scene where these guys, well, the main character in this case is you can turn down the music if you want because it's very loud.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
No worries. So is so what basically where I work on is I have the chance as well to work in this case. I did the surfacing as well for Casey, which is the main character in that scene. So we work in like that is a specific scene where he no, sorry, she actually fight with I don't know, like a sort of soldiers. I don't know what you call it, but it's like they have this scene. It's really a very short scene, but it's really nice because you
Yeah.
can see all the
It's
kind of
so
the work.
realistic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, we work very very, how I call it, like very picky in the sense, like we go very into details when you want to make something that looks realistic in a sense, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then, sorry, I'm really going through your stuff because I so much
Hmm.
love them. And when I was going through this, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like the character, the way you created this and the
Hmm.
environment, you know, it's so realistic. The Unreal Engine and every stuff is so realistic.
Yeah,
Can you tell me one of some of your inspirations behind what inspires you? Some stuff like this, you know, what
yeah,
inspires you to create things like this? You know?
yeah, yeah, definitely. So one of the things that I want to mention about this character in specific, well, this creature, the one before,
Yeah,
is that I modeled it based on a concept from Anastasio Jonis, is another concept artist basically. So when I started working on the character, basically my goal was to make something that looks similar but not exactly the same. So I kind of start from there, but then I keep bashing different ideas in the process. So what I did is my model today is more based in a real kind of real creature in a sense, like based on little, like for example like beetles, uh, bugs, like more like like more insects and different things, and then combine it with a more like a human, sort of like a
yeah,
human anatomy. So it's a little bit like mixed there, right? So it's a combination of different things in the process, right? It's not like only one in a sense.
yeah,
So yeah, so the process was sort of like mixing different stuff in the process, and the finally, like the at the end with the render, like when it comes to Unreal, um, that was like a whole different process because I didn't have the experience of working in Real. Like I only knew like a few things, but then when I started using Unreal, like learning different stuff, I really like the way they work for when you put the character and then you have all the tools for making like an environment for free basically, because you can access to the basically all the assets you can see there is for free, like you can download it, anyone. So it's only basically adding together in one scene, so you create the environment by yourself in a sense, right? But all the assets are free basically in a sense, right? And that's very nice about Unreal, like everyone can use it, and everyone that, as long as you have a internet and PC for sure, like you can access to these assets.
okay. That's so
Yeah,
amazing. I really
thank you.
appreciate your effort. And now, when you want to start model, let's say um, you want to start creating your models for the first time, do you need,
Hmm.
you have a human characters and some creatures and all the rest. For the human character, do you need to have a specific uh, human understanding, specific knowledge that have to do with human before you go into human character? Is there a
Yes.
specific okay?
Yes, definitely. So there's a few things that I always kind of say to my even to my students before. Uh, if you want to do creatures, first off, you have to understand human anatomy. So that's the thing. I will always say, if you want to make something, like make something from that doesn't exist, at least you have to use something that you can relate with. For example,
Mm,
humans anatomy, for sure. Like when you start a character, you have to understand anatomy in a sense, right? And doesn't mean you have to understand like every muscle, like the names and everything. No, that's is not important. The thing you have to understand is the volumes, for example, right? How the volumes basically are built in the human body, like either male or female. So you can understand those volumes, and then you can make stuff. In this case, for example, zebras or whatever you software use for making it. But yeah, I would say first understand anatomy, like try to learn as much as can. Use reference. For example, you have many books that you can learn. And then when you have the time and you get your hands a little more, like, okay, get used to sculpting things, then you can make like a whole character. Because most of the cases when you want to make a whole, like a, let's say, like a full body character, um it's really tough because you have many things. going on at the same time. You have anatomy, you have you have silhouette, you have design. So what I would suggest in that case is do exercises in a sense, right? Try to understand anatomy in different ways. Maybe understand first how the arm, all the muscles of the arm, maybe the how you can make a face that looks realistic. All the process basically, like doing like step by step in a sense, right? Like a what does he call it? Like a turtle, in the sense. Go slow, and then when you understand things, you can go like more crazy in the sense, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to ask you the this Disney movie, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Your
yeah,
role here and what you did in this movie.
yeah. For that one specifically, I work as a lead character artist and creature. Again, I can't say anything. That's the problem with the industry, right? Most of the cases when you work in projects, you
Okay.
can share anything. Is yeah. Is sorry about that, but yeah. What I can say is work as a lead creature artist there, basically. So yeah, we did
Okay.
different stuff. Yeah, but nevertheless, like in no time they're gonna show it. That's the thing. I had to wait until they show it. Until they show
Yeah.
the work, then I
So
can share it with you guys.
in all of this movie like this, okay, these haven't been
Hmm.
premiered, right? The MS Marvel's stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Miss Marvel, for example. Miss Marvel, yeah, I can, I
Yeah.
can, I can say because that's is already out, and actually you can see it in my show reel. Basically, you can see that actually, the things that I did. So, in those cases, yes, because it's already out, and you can pretty much watch it in Disney if you want. So, as long as it's public domain, I can share what I did. But until things are that's a little like tricky in this sense, like when you're working in this industry, one thing you have to understand is what we do in the studio is not your project, it's not your product, right? So you have to understand this is
Okay.
you're working for a client. So the client is the
Yeah.
owner of the product in a sense. So you can't share, you can't do anything with it until the client say okay, you can share it. It's not a problem. But if it's, yeah, sometimes could take like years, in the case, like for example.
Yes, it
So
takes a lot of
yeah,
time, especially in the making
ye-
and production of all these VFX and 3D. Takes a lot of time, but it's all
yeah,
good.
for
It's all
sure,
good.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what's your process? What are your process of, let's say you want to create a character, an anonymous character you don't have an idea about, like a character you
Hmm.
just imagine. What inspires you? Like, what to give you that kind of inspiration? Are you giving? Do you start with a sketch? You have to make a sketch, or
Mm,
you just start and make up something?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
start it. But
Sorry, my camera moves. Yeah, no, so that's the thing. I'm pretty bad on drawing. For example, I don't draw at all. Like I'm very bad on that. So I don't have any skills on drawing. So I usually what I do is I start from ZBrush. Like sculpting basically. I have like a sphere, and then I start. Let's say I have an idea, for example. I don't know, like a character, like you say, for example. Let's say I wanna
mm,
I wanna make a character from a movie, because sometimes it's more easy, because you have more reference. For example, if you wanna make a, I don't know, Superman, for example, right? You can find any
yeah,
place reference. So what my process is, I first off I gather reference, like I go, in Google basically and search for reference as many as you can, like different reference from the face. For example, if you want to do, I don't know, like a likeness, like Henry Cavill, for example, like that's the most famous one. So you can search for reference from the actor, and then you can search from reference from the character itself, like Superman in this case. So, and then you can combine different reference from, for example, like I have bodies like human, like someone who is very buff, very built up, so you can see the muscles and all the things. You have those reference for anatomy. So then I made the, like like it's called a reference board. right? Like basically you have like a, I mean, I'm saying like in physical, it's not physical for sure, like it's digital, right? You have everything, let's say you can use PureRef or you can use Photoshop, right? So you put everything together in one sort of like a big board, right? And then you can see all the reference you have. So you start kind of analyzing the reference, and then you go to ZBrush, and you start sculpting, for example, right? You start sculpting, you make the body, you make different parts, let's say the face. Either way, like whatever you like more, so you can go in that direction, right? Making stuff in 3D in the sense. So I usually make everything in ZBrush because for me, like I say, doing sketches in paper for me, I'm not good on drawing, so it's really hard to me, to kind of make the shape, in the sense. So that's why I always go straight to
I
the to
understand.
the.
Yes.
I like to do everything in ZBrush in the sense,
Okay,
helping basically.
this
Yeah.
character here, was this
Hmm.
sculpted on system or it was molded? I don't know how to put it because it's looking like a character that's being worked on realistically. I don't know. Can you tell me more
Yeah.
about this?
So yeah, for sure. So this guy is 3D, so it's not real. So I did it in ZBrush as well, like I did it like anything else. I start from it was basically like an anatomical study in a sense, right? I tried to understand how the human body works. So I did like a human anatomy study, and then what I did is I put everything together in a scene, like in this case was in 3D Max, and using 3D Max and V-Ray, if I remember correctly. So I put
Mm.
everything together in one scene and make it looks like a real clay. That's the thing, but it's not real
Okay,
clay for sure.
it's not
Yeah,
really
yeah,
clear.
yeah. No,
Oh
it's not
my
real.
word.
So,
Okay, looking like it
but I
really
can tell
clear.
you,
Okay.
I can tell you though that
Yeah.
I'm a traditional sculptor as well. I did traditional sculpting before, right? So I know how
Oh,
the clay actually looks in real life. So that's why kind of fake fake a little bit in a sense, right? But yeah,
oh my.
so
Oh, these are so amazing. That's
thank you,
amazing.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Let's talk one or two more. And this looks so dangerous. How on earth will you create something like this? It
thank
looks
you, man.
so. Oh wow, wow. Can you share
Yeah,
with us on this? Sorry, okay,
yeah, for
network
sure.
problem.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is very specific because this is actually comes from an idea that I have. I have an idea of something that actually kind of, in my head in a sense. I didn't do any sketch or anything, but I have an idea of my in my head where someone is pushing, pushing like it's like a two ways of meaning words in a sense. Pushing like you're pushing because you wanna like pushing something weight really really weight like very heavy in the sense, but as well because I was saying pushing, like pushing forward your career in the sense, right? Like pushing, even if
Oh,
you have like the most heavy thing in your life, like you can keep pushing, and then you're gonna get to your goal in the sense, right? So that's why this guy actually have four arms, right? Because the one that is pushing is the one that in the top for sure, and the one that is holding the weight of your body is the one that actually is in the bottom, right? So it's like it has like a meaning in the sculpture say, right? So it was like
how,
something that I had in my head actually.
how about the scars on the scars?
Well,
How?
it's kind of representing the, because the human body actually, that's something that I heard somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but I think it was like a Chinese master, like a, yeah, kung fu master. I think he said that your body, basically everything you feel, is not in your head, it's in your stomach and your heart basically. So that's why I put it like all the little like thing going in the stomach is because you have all the strange is there, like it's in your stomach and it's in your head in a sense. It's not in your head, right? The head is only for thinking, only for analyzing things, but doesn't give you strength. What is give you strength is actually your heart and your stomach, right? So that's why I put
Um,
it like these lines going that way. So yeah, it has
wow,
like a little meaning.
wow, this
Yeah,
is so amazing,
thank you, man.
amazing, so
And
amazing.
the one thing that I can say as well is in this one I made all the textures in Substance Painter. So it was like a kind of sort of like a trying different ideas that I have in my mind. Um, so I ended up making everything in Substance Painter with different materials, combination.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anyone who tell upcoming 3D artists, that want to get your level, that want to work with people like Disney, what are the things
Hmm.
they should look out for in their career? What seriousness, what kind of experience do they need to have to get to that standard that you've gotten? So, what advice could you
Yes.
give to people seeking your career?
Hmm. Yeah. What will suggest in that case, for example, if you're making your portfolio, one thing that I wanna say is try to focus on only one thing, right? Because what is going to happen is when you get the chance to work in these productions, usually they have people that are really good in one thing. For example, they have someone who is really good on creatures, right? So that guy makes like only creatures in a sense, like only sculpting creatures, for example. So, and usually those guys are like they want to go in that sense. I would say you have to focus first, right? Try to focus as much as you can. For example, if you want to make character, okay, so make only characters, and then then focus on all other areas. Like for example, I don't know if you want to make textures, well, you can focus only on texture in a sense, but don't try to do everything in the same time because most likely when someone is going to hire you in a big production is that they don't hire generalists in a sense, right? They only hire people that are specialized in the sense, like for example, like I say, texture artist, surface artist, look dev, animation, 3D modeling, sculpting. So you have to focus in only one thing in the sense, right? And make it as best as you can. Try to focus as much as you can in the sense, right?
All
So
right.
that
Thank you
that
very much.
no problem.
I really appreciate the time. So,
Mhm.
now we want to get hired. We want to get in touch with the bigger firms, the bigger industries. What do we need to have? What do we need to
Yeah,
to achieve? How do we get hired? Like the way you
yeah,
got hired and you work with Mars, you work with this, you work with big industries.
yeah.
How can we get to those top levels?
Well, the simple answer will be portfolio. Hmm. So portfolio is your best tool in that sense, right? Like if you don't have portfolio, it's gonna be a little more hard for you, right? Unless you know someone or maybe you have contacts in somewhere where he or she can recommend you. But in the same time, you have to show to the client, for example, the studio, that you can do the stuff, right? So in the sense, for example, if someone is gonna hire you and they're gonna put like a lot of money on you, right? They're gonna invest money on you. So
Yeah.
you have to show in your portfolios and that you can make the stuff, right? I mean, that's the main thing you have to understand before you're gonna, even if you want to apply for a studio in the sense, right? You have to understand that everything you have in your portfolio has to have like a um, sort of like a meaning in a sense, right? Like for example, if you want to make a character, okay, that's cool, make a character, but thinking how someone who is hiring, for example, a recruiter or a studio that's looking for someone, okay, how the person is going to see your work in a sense, right? So you have to analyze, you have to sit sit and actually analyze your work in a sense, like thinking more like a product instead of like just a. I mean, it depends, right? I'm not saying everything has to be the same, but in my personal kind of way of thinking is when you make something has to have like a meaning in a sense, right? Like it's something that someone is gonna looking at and say, oh, okay, this guy can make character, can make a texture, can do lighting as well. So it's a combination of things. You have to understand that someone from the other side of the screen is gonna see it, and they're gonna say, okay, this guy can make this stuff. Portfolio is the first thing. So make a good portfolio. Try to work in yourself in a sense, make a good profile as well. I would say be try to be in like presence in social media, for example. Like if you can share your stuff in Instagram, in LinkedIn, which is the one basically where all the recruiters go nowadays. Like LinkedIn is the first one. So share your stuff in like I say in Facebook, so Instagram. Try to make it, create your brand in a sense, right? Create your brand, and that's gonna eventually it's gonna lead you to the some cool projects in a sense. Yeah.
So thank you very much. Do you have like an academy where you train, where you teach students? You have students you teach. Do you have an academy
N-
maybe online or?
No, I don't have at the moment, but but yeah, I will do it one day though. Yeah, I having something, I'm planning something, but definitely it will take a little time because I have. But in the future, yeah, I want to teach people, the way basically, not the like it's not like
Yeah,
this any
yeah.
secret anything. It's not a secret for sure, but at least to teach people how make this stuff happen to anyone, because I'm like a normal dude. I'm from Uruguay, so it's a very small country in South America. Actually, we're very small. But yeah, so if I did it, you can as well. So I think that's a good thing, as
All
long as
right.
you work
So
hard.
yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Uh, I really appreciate your time, and I will still call you again.
Sorry, I can hear you now. Oh, there you go.
Uh, can you hear me now? I'll still call you
Yeah,
again, and we will talk more on this show. I really appreciate you honoring this show. Thank you,
thank
guys.
you.
Please, everyone. This is Creative Tuesdays, and where we talk about creativity, where we invite people and they show us their skills to the world and how they have inspired, how their skills have affected humankind, and how they are affecting people positively. And our guest here is an amazing personality. You can check him on
Thank you.
websites, check him on Facebook. He has a lot of creativity, he has a lot of stuff that he's working on. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you so much. God bless you. God bless you. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Please
you.
subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like this video. Drop a comment if you have anything to say. Have anything to talk about. Please,
All
please
right, there
just
you
drop
go.
it on the comment section. So at this point, we'll call the show to an end, and I would still keep you in touch, please. I should keep you in touch. I really love and respect your work and love and respect your personality. I've been following you for
Thank
more
you.
than 4 years now. I've been following you for more than four
Oh,
years.
damn.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you, man.
Yeah, following you for more than 4 years. And I've been seeing your work all the silence. I was wishing that one day I will have a talk with you. And here you are.
Thank you,
So,
man.
right. Thank you very much. And bye for now.
See ya, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
All right. We're still live. Yeah. Still live.
I'm going to end the live stream.